Warning, this documentary contains references to recreational drugs-related themes in an educational context. These references are not intended to promote or glorify illegal drug usage. This documentary is for educational purposes only. This video has been edited to comply with YouTube's guidelines. Viewer discretion is advised.
All right. Now, this is a bottle of grossness. It looks gross. It's like, ugh. But it's been an experiment that I've been having for a while. All right? Now, if you must know, this white stuff in here is called mycelium. You can see the growth pattern. It has a rhizomorphic growth. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, rhizomorphic. Mesomorphic is when it's more cloudy or something like that. And it's growing. What's that? What's that in there?
Before this video starts, I want you guys to do me a solid and don't tell the government about this video. All right, just talking about mushrooms. Okay, just regular mushrooms, which may or may not contain some psilocybin. FBI, open up! That's the part we gotta keep between us. Okay, don't share that. And now that I'm no longer a first responder, I can talk about my experiences without fear of losing my job. This is a story about how I first experienced mind-altering mushrooms, all right? And we're just going to call it that so it doesn't trigger YouTube censors. I was working as a tech on the ambulance, right? The tech is basically the person who documents, who takes down the medical information, takes down the insurance, asks questions, who's in the back of the ambulance helping the patient, right? So I was teching, and I had a driver who, he was like to describe him, he kind of like resembled the High School Musical version of Zac Efron, but he was like a shorter version. Like he was like a Hobbit version. Like he was really like 5'3", but he was pretty chill. Like he was funny, chill. The moment I knew that he was like a chill dude was the moment when he was trying to park the ambulance, right? And he almost hit like another ambulance truck or something like that. And he was like, whoo, that was a close one, man. I can't go in for a drug test. And I was like, what are you worried about? You're not on crack, are you? And he said, nah, man, I've been smoking that za. After that, we was talking about everything, talking about politics, talking about the job, talking about the matrix, talking about stocks, talking about everything. I think I told him that was the one thing I wanted to try. Like, yo, bro, I wanted some psychedelics because I was listening to like, I think Joe Rogan at the time, like back in the days when he was like bringing on psychedelic, people talking about DMT and stuff.
Every time I've done it, it's sort of just like in one way or another, just removed one layer of the onion, one layer of bullshit that keeps you from just embracing the great mystery of this existence.
And I was so fascinated into that. Like, bro, what is that like? I had no connects. There's nobody that really sells that type of stuff on a regular, right? But this guy, he said he knows a guy. I'm like, okay, well, let me know that guy too. Let's fast forward a bit into the story where we finally get the shrooms, right? He calls in front of my house. He's like, yo, I'm here. I got it. Got outside, took it from him. It was in like this little paper brown bag. Went inside. I was mad excited. I'm like, oh my God, I got the thing of legends. I have the thing that they've all been talking about. The mind-altering substance. How is this going to treat me? How am I going to be affected? What's going to happen to me? Let's find out. First, the taste is disgusting. I was like, what is this? It had like a marshmallow kind of feel, like it would melt in your mouth a little, pause, and it sticks into your teeth. And I hated that. But I was eating it anyway. I was trying to see what this was going to take me, where it was going to take me, right? And hours pass. Nothing's happening. I'm not feeling anything. And I just forget about it completely. I'm just like, all right, this wasn't anything. This is anticlimactic. And I wasted my money. I forget about it, right? And I'm chilling on my bed. I'm about to go to bed. I'm about to go to sleep, right? Watching some videos. And out of nowhere, I start laughing. Uncontrollably. I just start laughing. I'm like, all right, this is funny, but what is funny? Like, what am I finding funny for me to laugh this hard? And I just keep laughing at the fact that I'm laughing at nothing. I'm laughing at myself that I don't even know what I'm laughing at. And it got so crazy to where I couldn't even breathe. I was just laughing hysterically. And that's when it dawned on me like, oh, I took shrooms. This is what shrooms does to you. It just makes you laugh. I'm dying, rolling on the floor. Like really laugh my ass off. Now I'm like, okay, this is the effects of shrooms, right? This makes you giggly, makes you laugh. I want to hear how music sounds. So I go to my computer, turn on the tracks. I'm like, who do I play? Who I'm in the mood for right now? Play some Bob Marley, because you can't go wrong with that, all right? That's a classic. And some Michael Jackson. The music, I'm seeing, I'm feeling, everything is just like melded together as one experience in a sense. Like, it wasn't overwhelming. It was just like new. It was different. It was something I've never experienced before. And the music took on a different life, right? Where it's like I was feeling the music more than just listening to it. And I'm just having a grand old time dancing, moving to the music and stuff. And at this point, like, I didn't know how much I took. All I knew is that I took all of it. I ate all of it because I thought it wasn't going to do anything to me. That was my mistake. That was my mistake. Because one thing I noticed, one thing I noticed was after the music would kind of die down, like the music would come to an end, I started feeling this sense of like doom. I don't know how else to describe. Like, it just felt like this sense of doom, and the music was saving me. Every time I put on music, it just kept the vibes up. Like, I was nice and happy. But when the music came down and there was no more music and it was silent, I'm kind of scared now. I'm a person where I like to face my fears, okay? Like, I don't like to be scared of things, okay? So I decided, you know what? What am I running from? Right? What am I trying to escape from? Let me turn off the music and let me just sit with my thoughts. At this point, the visuals started kicking in. Like, everything was just morphing, breathing. Like, I would look at a wall and it felt like it was breathing, like it was alive. It was like, but honestly, the experience was more psychological than it was a visual experience. Like, I didn't see any like gnomes, or like I didn't hallucinate something that wasn't there. Like, it was just like things that were morphing, right? Objects that were morphing, right? And in my head, I'm just having thoughts racing a mile a minute. And it was as if like I had all the thoughts of everyone in the world just in my head. Like, I was thinking about it was an overwhelming feeling of thinking. It felt like I was thinking about everything in existence, like everything that ever existed or ever happened or ever transpired. I'm thinking about it. It's on my mind. I'm thinking about it at the same time while I'm thinking about everything else. And it's all right there in my head. And it was just this overwhelm, because I'm like, where am I in all of this? Like, where is my thoughts? I came to the question of, who am I? Like, where do I think? At that point, I felt like I lost myself. Like, I lost my way of like my thoughts. And I thought I went crazy. Like, this is what it feels like to be crazy. And I panicked a little. I was like, whoa, is this going to be forever? Is this just my life now? Is this how I'm just going to live forever? Like, and I thought of ways to just like, okay, we gonna make it through this, man. I just gotta hide it. I just gotta hide my insanity. I gotta hide this crazy mind. But like, this is overwhelming. Like, could I see myself living like this for the rest of my life from here on out? Oh man, what can I do? Like, who do I go to? Oh, I messed my brain up. At this point of the trip, it's like 12 o'clock at midnight, right? I took it around like, I would say 7 in the afternoon. So I'm thinking, all right, this has to end at some point. Some point this has to be over and I'm going back to normal and it's going to be all good. 1 o'clock rolls by, 2 o'clock rolls by, 3 o'clock rolls by. I'm still wide awake. And it's like, man, I got work in the morning. At this point, I'm laying in my bed, looking up in the ceiling, just trying to hold on for dear life. But it got to like a point where I'm starting to think about life and death. What is after death? What does it mean to be alive? Before this experience, I didn't know how much the fear of death dictated my life. And it's crazy because a lot of us, we live our lives thinking that we're going to live forever. Like while you're in the moment, you don't really contemplate death on a day-to-day basis. So it's not on the forefront of your mind, but in a subconscious way, it kind of dictates your actions when it comes to fear. Let me see if I could explain that a little bit better. There's a Latin phrase that says memento mori, and it translates into remember you must die, which sounds a little bit morbid, but it serves as a reminder that death is inevitable, that life is fleeting, that nothing is forever, and you shouldn't take it for granted. Now, I'm saying all of this because my fear of death was obliterated when I took these shrooms. It was a thought that kept reoccurring while I was on it. It was this thought of death is not real. There is no end to existing. Existing is just forever. Like the first law of thermodynamics, where energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed, right? So the energy in the universe, it's always transforming from one state to another, right? Gas, liquid, solid, plasma, whatever it may be. And we are also a part or made up of the universe. So once we die, it's like there's a cycle in which we go back into the universe. And instead of being afraid of that, it feels like a beautiful thing to be a part of. I was on the come down on the shrooms, and I started feeling like we made it. Like a feeling of relief. Like, thank God, we got over the worst things. I can sleep now. And I got my 2 hours of rest, and I got back up for my shift and went straight to work. I was fully rested. Even though I slept for 2 hours, I had so much energy. I'm like, wow. And it was like this newfound appreciation that I had for like just my sanity, just having a sane mind. I even changed my perspective on God, where there's this paradigm of thoughts in which people think of or characterize God in. You have this dualistic perspective and non-dualistic perspective, where they believe that the creator is separate from the creation, that God just created everything and was like, all right, well, I'm done here and I'm just going to observe over there. The non-dualistic perspective is based in this idea that the creator and the creation are one. If you're a person who believes in God, think about it. Why did God create anything if he knows what's going to happen before it happens? After this experience, it made me think, like, what if God was lonely, right? This is like a hypothetical that popped in my head. Like, what if God was lonely and he wanted to experience what it was like to be around another being, right? But everything that he created is just controlled by him. It's like Pinocchio, like when the Pinocchio wooden maker, he's trying to make a real boy, but it's just a puppet. The only time it moves is when he moves it. And that also points out the free will fallacy when it comes to the dualistic perspective, where they separate God from creation, that God is just judging you and he's just this omnipotent being that knows everything that you're going to do, but he's still judging you. It points out the fallacy that you don't have free will if your actions are predetermined. So what if God created life, existence, all these different life forms, all these different people, all these different environments, so that he can exist within them and feel what it feels to have company, all while forgetting that it is its own creator to its own reality, right? Getting lost into the Maya or the illusion of life just by this thought alone, which came through me through the trip, right? Through the shrooms and stuff. I didn't even have to believe in any of this. It was just a thought that I've never thought about before. Like, I've never thought about reality in such a way. But when I thought about it that way, it just released the fear of death. Like I didn't fear what's going to happen. The only thing I kind of fear now is just the pain. What type of death is it? But I don't fear what's going to happen after. Right. I'm not afraid of like the whole heaven, hell. Like I'm right with my soul. I treat people the way how I want to be treated. I have a saying that goes, everyone is just another version of you. They're just playing a different part. They're just playing a different role in life, but they're just another version of you.